Hello everyone, Sarah here. I am working on my Halloween card kit that I have been making using this Mischief Manners paper pad that I purchased last year, just after Halloween. And for this one, this piece of paper has really been calling me. So what I'm going to try to do is make a card using this as the focal point. It's really cute, and I want to show you how you can use your imagination to take a design that's a full-fledged design and make it into a card. So I'm going to fussy cut this out. I'm going to fussy cut this out, and I'll be right back. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken a die stitch circle and I partially cut it, and that kind of gave me a shape to work with. And then what I did was I just fussy cut around all the little limbs. It did take a little bit of time. For me, I like doing this. It's relaxing, but it's not for everyone. So you could have just left most of it, or try other things. But this is, if you like to fussy cut, this is actually a really fun thing to do. So I also cut a bunch of little extras, and I plan on just setting this down and then stick them out around. So we'll start off with the base, because this is, I cut a piece of the white linen, or the white linen style cardstock, and I'm going to have that facing upwards to give it a little bit of texture. And you know what? I'm going to try something. I am going to try to double-sided adhesive. Oh my goodness! I'm going to try to use this double-sided tape and see if I can do it. I'm sure I can. It's just with practice. That's all it takes. But I just find working with glue is just so much easier. But you know, I noticed with my cards that there is a little bit of warping. And I need to know, or I would like to know, is it because I'm doing layers and layers of glue, adhesive glue, liquid glue? And to me that makes sense. That would make sense why that is happening. But I'll try this out and see. I mean, I could have got, I could splurge and get an ATG gun. But I don't have much luck with those type of adhesives, and once again, it's not with much practice, or it's not. It's because I don't practice very much. But I remember there used to be these whiteout gun or whiteout things that look similar, not ATG, but you know, the little whiteouts, and I could never get the whiteout on those, and I would assume that the glue, the tape would be the same. You have to probably hold it in a certain way to and the perfect pressure to make sure that it slides, no restriction, because those guns, those type of devices, you cannot have any restriction because then it'll just stop. So make sure that it's open on the right side. And this shouldn't be too tough because it is an A2 size. So if I cut it accordingly, I shouldn't have a problem. And that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. I did cut out a piece of specialty paper from American Craft. It's pretty old. You can tell by the back, the coloring. I got it from someone was moving away, and I purchased a package of it. So I don't even know if they sell it anymore. It kind of has this same type of texture, the linen texture, but I noticed that this actually can scrape off. But what I wanted to do was just create a little bit of difference, just create something that's a little bit separate. A little contrast. Don't have to. I mean, I could just do it like this, but I wanted something a little bit different. And I'm debating if I want to see double stitches or not. I don't think I want to. I think I'm going to glue it just in a way that the stitches will be hidden. The only thing is I cut too much on this side, so I may have to trim that down. But I'm going to use the double-sided tape again because this is definitely a different type of paper, and I don't know how well it will adhere with glue alone, liquid glue alone. So let's try that. Let's just do a little bit of double-sided tape. I'm making a mess here. And then I will use some extra liquid glue for extra strength. Take the lid off, might help. Okay, so let's put a little bit of glue here. Just put it around. I guess I can cover the whole thing. And that means I probably will have to lift this up. Stick that there. I am going to trim this. I know it sucks, but it's just... You know what? For now, I'll leave it just in case I change my mind, because I might end up blocking it. So let's not cut before it's. We see how we go. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is to glue this piece down. I am going to take a piece of scrap paper and just make sure that it's flush, because I do have this circle here that is lifting it. So all I need to do is just make sure that I have a piece there, and anywhere else that's a large gap, to lift it up so there's no drooping or sagging on the card. It does make a difference, definitely. It will help. Once you try it, you won't go back unless you're in a rush, just because it's you'll notice right away the difference. So let's try that. Let's see how that works. That's pretty good. That's not bad. So now I'm just going to adhere this whole thing down to the corner of my card. And then I'm just going to flush this into the corner of my card. And I'll try to make sure this all gets aligned appropriately. And then I will trim that off. And there is our first layer. Well, I guess it's the second layer, because this one, the background would have been the first layer, but it's flat, so it's kind of... There we go. But now I definitely have to cover that because I didn't cut it. So next we'll just trim this card. Okay. It's looking good so far. And now what I want to do is start putting in some extra pieces. Start sticking some of these extra twigs into the scene. And I did cut quite a few. Hopefully that's enough. Otherwise I'll have to cut some more. See, that can go up there. And I'm just going to strategically, well, I don't know if it's strategic. I'm just going to aimlessly put these around. Trying to find places that I can. And what this is doing is, you can tell, it's creating more depth to the card. It's now coming out at you instead of just being flat. So that's why it's nice to do the extra effort of cutting or fussy cutting them. I know it is painstakingly tedious to some people, but it can pay off, definitely. For some reason, nothing looks good in this corner here. I think it's just already busy. So maybe I just won't do anything there. You know what? Maybe that's good enough. So let's do those. And once again, I will use my Simon Says glue and try to stick these back in there. There we go. So then what we'll do is we'll just trim these pieces off again. Any excess hanging over. Oops, I just realized my camera is crooked. Sorry. My partner called me and and I had to answer it, so I think I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize my phone was crooked. Okay, so that's the cards so far. I did cut a piece of pattern paper. Where did it go? It was this one right here, and I took this little circle out. So I just fussy cut the circle out, and then I got this piece. You Are Magic. And the reason I chose that one is just because it was black and white, and it was a circle that matched the circle here. That is pretty much the only reason. There were some other nice sentiments that we could cut out, but it was the circle and color that really caught my attention. So that's what I did. And then what I'm going to do is match, just to give it a little bit more so that it's not hidden there. So I'm just going to put it on this circle here. This is the exact same, sorry, not circle, the same black paper that I have here. So I'm going to tie it in with that shininess. And then I'm just going to, once again, fussy cut a circle. Glue is still a little wet. I should have used some double-sided tape because I realized that it's going to take a little longer for this probably to set. And potentially it won't even. I've never really used this paper, so I don't know. I just have a feeling it would have been better if I used double-sided tape instead of just liquid glue alone. Okay. And I will admit that this is a little bit challenging. I don't know about anyone else, but I have a real hard time cutting black. I just can't see it. It must be the shadows. It's really hard for me to see it. It's really interesting. I will prop this one up. I'll just use some of these. These did come from Scrapping for Less card kit 1 month, sorry. And I will just like to use them up. So I'm going to go crazy with them. Now, I'm thinking maybe I'll just offset it a bit. I kind of like it offset. like that. Okay. Now, what can we add for a little glitz? Because it's really flat. Like even though there's layers, this is very flat. I do have glossy accents. Oh my goodness. But I think it's clogged. Let's see. Yeah. So I will unclog it and see if I can get it to work. Okay, so what I decided to do, I'm going to do something bold. I've never done this before, but I can't find anything. My little glossy accents is kind of clogged right now. So the problem is this whole design looks the same. It's very flat. So what I want to do is I'm going to color just the house, and hopefully that will pop it up just enough to break this whole section up. If not, at least I know. So I'm just going to just give it a very basic shading like this. I'm not going to press hard. I'm just going to go very lightly, and I'm hoping that this will create enough of a difference. So I will do this and probably fast forward it so I don't have to talk the whole time. I do like talking sometimes, but to save time, because I think this video is going to be a little bit longer. Okay, so what I did was I just added the black all over there, and then because I accidentally colored on the white, I decided that I would just try to give it land, so that shows that the house is actually sitting there and is not floating. That wasn't planned, but that's just the way it went. To finish off, I am just going to add a few of these black crystal nouveau drops, and hopefully they go a little bit better than the silver ones. I'm just going to just kind of just put them around. I never have any I never really have a goal on how I do these. I just kind of spritz them around. I didn't like it there. Oh well. Let me just spit one there. It's getting off center. Maybe I'll put one here. There we go. Yeah, I'm not sure how to get these nouveau drops to drop down. Can you kind of tell that they're like little drops? Unless it just drops with time. Okay. And you know what? Just add a little more shimmer. You know, go big or go home, right? just keep adding. I'm just going to color this. To add a little bit of shimmer. Should we do the ghosts? Let's do the ghosts too. They're not too many, so I'm just kind of trying to just break everything up so that they all have something. They're not standing out on their own too much, but they just have a little bit of something. Okay, I'm going to call it. That is it. That is the next Halloween card. This probably will be my last one. I don't know if I'll get around to making a fifth one. But this just shows you how you can create a really fun card just with the pattern paper that is available. Of course, I did add some embellishments that you can do whatever you want to impress yours, but to improve, or to enhance, I should say. But the essence is just the pattern paper. So I hope you had fun. I had a lot of fun working with this Halloween paper. I just love Halloween so much. It's just something that I've grown up to love. So thank you for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.